Any researcher into the long and tragic social history I have eventually arrives at my living in the branch campuses of Temple University, both Ambler and Tyler Art School, in the early 1980s for a number of reasons that are related to um, who I knew and how I knew them and what they set up that had become a source of consternation and dispute in my affairs. But one thing that's clear is that there always had a difficult time accepting what seemed to be, to some extent, a spillover from the Vietnam War and the values of my peers. My professor, Syed Hussein Nasser, downtown at Temple, gave me a book called Ideals and Realities of Islam. And I have long pondered, without making much progress, what is meant by ideals and realities, because it seemed to me that Kennedy's and Buckminster Fuller's ideals were about reality, they weren't separate. But of course, in ideals and realities, you still have the process of living up to what you believe is true. And these people around me seem to be going by the idea that they were patriots. In other words, that they embraced American ideals, but were at odds about what it took to live up to them, to promote these ideals. And I had an assumption that they weren't going to do anything deliberately wrong to innocent people. Of course, I found that that is not true, that these people were criminally intense and they found a group shelter in jingoism. So my assumption protected them. I didn't understand the magnitude of what they were up to. One of them had a nickname for me at Tyler. He used to say for me scornfully that I was metaphysical Jim. At Ambler, there was a man who was my roommate named Lou, who used to ask me if I was a devil worshiper because I was voting for Jimmy Carter. And it spoke to this deliberate attempt to make a ghoulish absolute out of winning by trickery, winning by deceit, winning by knowingly doing things wrong. At the University of Pittsburgh, they invited me to a frat party with my girlfriend then, Becky. And when we got there, there was a fish tank in the middle of the apartment with a piranha in it. This was going to be the fun of the keg party. So I asked that we leave. I didn't want to see this University of Pittsburgh demonstration project in the nature of reality. So, as they like to call it. In fact, it was so pernicious of an overtone, nature of reality. I started abbreviating it NOR and called them the Fern Hollow Bridge Gang when the Fern Hollow Bridge fell. Well, the point is that the apostles of these people, like Adam Eisenstadt, many of them were Israelis, and they had ghoulish hybrid things going on, and ended up working with Trump and robbing the museums. It's frightful. They tortured me. I ended up with Parkinson's. I'm very much on my last legs as an independent person. And one of these people was named Mackenzie. He was in brain research and LSD. And the idea of pin the tail on the donkey was the first episode of Kidsburg when a boy named Jason, Israeli named Jason, worked with the fox intruder in my house. from 20th century Fox, a step family from the Nam crowd of the extreme right wing Catholics. And it turned out, of course, that they were playing this game of killing my children through sponsoring attack prostitution and then calling me the walrus. That's the last laugh, last gasp of their um, um, empire statement. Well, the point is that what happened to Mackenzie Shirilla didn't happen in a vacuum. I can tell from the hybrid signals that I got, some of which I have recorded, that people at the News Herald knew how she was being used, just as people at the Pittsburgh Post Gazette made a big show of knowing how I was being used, knowing my father was going to be murdered. They made a big show of their knowledge about even the murder of Martin Luther King, stamped a date on his forehead when he came to Pittsburgh in their archives. The point is that these newspaper racketeers, Mackenzie and Wattenmaker and these Israeli Nordenberg protects while they're robbing the museums and punching out children for Trump in the East End and gassing somebody, which was a horrible thing to do in a neurobehavioral experiment, did not happen in a vacuum. So it's a whole contextual argument coming from the Bar Association going, yeah, you know, how in Western Pennsylvania, that region of Cleveland and Pittsburgh. That's what the whole thing is. It's a schemata about the nature of reality. What they did to Mackenzie Shirilla is the piranha in the fish tank at the frat party. Make no mistake about it. That's what she was. She was completely innocent. They set up a car bomb and surrounded her with slapping fives, hybrid signals to watch the music, man. Let's hear it from Metaphysical Jim. Hey, Metaphysical Jim. Hey, Metaphysical Jim, there goes the wall race. Ha ha ha.